안녕하세요, SQ입니다.
코리안하게. 안녕하세요.
포르노 척.
포리너인 척. 더
어떻게 안녕하세요.
Yes, video.
So my name is SQ. I work for Ahrefs. Ahrefs is a marketing intelligence platform for the AI era. So I work as a senior content marketer, and right now I mostly create blog content for Ahrefs, and I also write the weekly digest, the email newsletter for Ahrefs. Yeah, so these are the two main roles that I perform at Ahrefs, alongside some other small projects that might come up here and there.
그 지금의 그런 직함이 되기까지 어떤 여정을 거치셨는지, your career path?
On my career path? Actually, the funny thing is that I was serving the army, and I was introduced to a book, Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Work Week. I'm not sure if it's popular here in Korea. But basically, back then, it was a book about how it kind of transformed my life in a sense that it was about, like all of us, we live life following the old path. So you work till you are 65 or whatever, and then you retire, and then you do whatever you want, which is like travel the world, for example. But I think that book kind of transformed my life and a lot of people's life who has read the book, in the sense that firstly he talked about like mini retirement. So like, why instead of saving it all up for the end of your life, like 65, 70, why don't you just like take breaks or like do whatever you want along the way? And I think this book was really the start of the entire revolution that happened all over the world. The remote work revolution, for example, and encouraging a lot of people to live, to start their own businesses, build startups, do freelancing and stuff like that. So I was also, like everyone, I was also very inspired by the book. And then in army, because I had some income from being a soldier, from serving, so I took that money and I went to attend a internet marketing course in Singapore, a 2 days boot camp, which after the 2 days I realized it was a complete waste of my time, because I was there as I didn't know back then, but I was there as the youngest guy, and I was, basically everyone in the room was like a ajoshi, like a very old guy, and old ladies, and they didn't even know how to use the computer. So like half the time the instructor was saying like, double click this, and then the old ladies and the old uncles were like, what is double click? So I wasted a lot of my time and a lot of money, because it was quite expensive. It was like $2,000 for the boot camp. But then the only thing I took away from the entire thing was that I learned what internet marketing was, and it gave me a lot of inspiration and motivation to really find out what internet marketing was. And then from there, obviously the next step, back then there was no ChatGPT, right? So the next step was like to find books. So I started reading marketing books, and then I had a friend who I knew from B.R.E.W, who was working as the human resource manager in a startup, and he got me into the startup. And that was like my first exposure into marketing. Like I was like the first marketer in the company, and no one in the company, even though they had raised I think $1 million, they had no idea what marketing was. So I mean, I was a fresh grad, and I also didn't know what marketing was, only from books. So I had to basically try everything and find out like what is it that I like and what worked. Had to talk to people, attend networking events and stuff like that. And from there, I think to cut the story short, I discovered content marketing. And along the way, the company died, basically. Like it went bankrupt. So I left to join another software company as a content marketer. And then from that company, after 1 year, I joined Ahrefs as a content marketer, which I've stayed for 6 years. Yep.
하루 일과가 어떻게 되세요?
It's the same every day, I think. I just go to my computer, I mean, I think these days everyone is the same, right? They just go to the computer and they just talk to ChatGPT all day long. So, so I think that's the same for me. Like, basically, I have an idea, ask ChatGPT. I want to do something, ask ChatGPT. I want to, like these days, even I want to write something, I just ask ChatGPT to come up something for me first, then I edit from there. So yeah, so the real answer is ChatGPT.
Comes up with a funny question, like how much money do you spend on a LMM service or any AI service a month, including GPT?
So at Ahrefs, everyone has access now to ChatGPT and
is it?
Claude.
Is it corporate?
Yeah, it's a business, like a business. But it's not mostly for us, it's mostly for the developers, because developers get the most productive returns from
They
AI.
deserve it.
Yeah, so
We do just click all the day.
yeah, so but because of that, I get the benefits. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't say I spend a lot of money because that is not my money. Yeah, I think everyone is the same today, no matter what profession you're in. Your job starts with ChatGPT and ends with ChatGPT.
디지털 월세?
Digital.
월세.
Yeah.
콘텐츠 작성은 어떤 루틴이나 방법으로 진행하시나요?
I don't think it's anything special, to be honest. Like, I work for Ahrefs, so a big part of it is keyword research. So, so a lot of looking at what our competitors are ranking for, and then trying to rank for those keywords. Another part of it is, I think the thing that as a person working at Ahrefs, we are very lucky is because we are basically the same people as our customers. Like, we are marketers in a marketing software selling to marketers. So the good thing is that whatever questions you have, curiosities you have, it is very likely to be similar to what your customers are asking. So for that, a lot of times we actually even look at our own like selves, like my colleagues and I, we look at our own work, or we just look at what is happening in the industry, and they just ask like what is interesting, and what are we doing, or what should we be doing. Then basically from there you write about those things. But I mean, of course, the other part is that a lot of times we spend a lot of time today on LinkedIn. Yeah, so if you're on LinkedIn, you definitely see people arguing every day, right? Like, there will be a lot of people saying like AI will change your life, use these prompts, blah blah blah, and there will be a lot of people like, oh, they're scaring you, don't need to worry, and then people ask a lot of questions, a lot of discussions, and those, at some point as you are scrolling every day, you can say that you're wasting your time or you are being productive on LinkedIn, you start to get some ideas in your head about what people want to see, and then you just make content based on that. Yeah.
그 콘텐츠를 완성하면 그 내부에서 리뷰하고 뭔가 누가 컨펌하나요?
So the Ahrefs process is this. Every writer is basically an SEO. And every writer is basically a marketer. So they choose their own topic. They do the writing. They do the promotion and distribution. So all of us, you can think of it, we are like individual contractors in the same team. So how it works is that all of us, we come up with ideas. We write an outline or like a pitch. We show it to our boss, who is the director of content marketing, Ryan Law. Some of you might know him. He's quite famous on LinkedIn. He will tell us whether like the idea is good or not. Sometimes the idea is good, but he thinks that it's not worth the effort and resources to go so deep. So then he will offer a suggestion. Maybe we do a what we call MVP, a minimum viable version of the blog post. Then we publish that first. Then we can go advanced later on if it works. So basically his job has twofold. Ryan comes in at the outline stage. He tells us whether the idea is good or not. And then after we have some discussion about the idea, then he comes in again after the draft to tell us like what can be improved. But he's really more concerned about the communication of the idea rather than grammatical errors, because at the end of the day, like it's not that big of a deal. So like really about whether you are communicating and expressing whatever you want to say in the best form. And then I mean his understanding is that we are all individual writers. He doesn't want to handicap our thinking by exerting too much influence and force on what he thinks is right, because everyone is right to some degree. So yeah, so after that is done, we get it published, and then promotion is up to each writer, and then the cycle just repeats over and over and over again for the whole year basically. Yep.
How many people?
Content team right now is 5 or 6, I think, including
5 or 6.
including the director. Let me think.
How many?
Yeah,
content-
5.
How many contents a month?
How many content a month? So we are trying to do about 15 to 20 a month.
15.
So about at least 15. So about 3 per person per month. So about 15. Yeah.
아니 저희는 그래도 숫자가 채워야 되는 KPI가 for me per quarter is like 120.
Articles, 1 person. Yeah.
120개를 몇 달 안에? 3달? 쿼터?
KPI가 있어요?
I think Ahrefs is a very interesting company because we work in the opposite ways of a lot of companies. So Ahrefs, if you didn't know, is a bootstrap company, completely bootstrapped by the founder. So no investment, no venture money. So basically, in that sense, we are allowed to do whatever we want because there's no one breathing down our necks saying like, oh, where is the growth? Where is the growth? Where is the growth? So in that case, we have developed a quite unique culture. So a lot of times we don't really have KPIs. We are not required. We use KPIs to just judge whether we are on the right path. But it's not a thing to hold over the employees to say that you didn't hit your KPI today. What are you doing? Does it make sense? Yeah.
성과주의자 아니세요?
To some degree, everyone is, right? Because we live in a society. Let's just put it this way, right? Because if you have a salary, it's because you achieve X, Y, Z, right? Yeah. Are you going to tell a boss, I love the process, right? So I think at some point,
Oh, it was an execution, not your...
yeah, at some point, I think everyone is driven by results. That's why I say like it's the hardest to reach that level of loving the process for the process, because like in some way you're also escaping from the society you are in because you truly do something because of something. Yeah.
BREW framework.
A BREW framework.
그거 이거 읽고 그거 되게 진짜 좋은 것 같아서 저희도 그런 거 활용해서
BREW framework.
네, 그 B.R.E.W.
네네네.
그거-
어떻게?
그거 뭔가 이렇게 프라이어리티를 결정하고 하는데 저희도 활용하고 있거든요. 그래서 그 주제나 어떤 기준 같은 거에 궁금해요. 컨텐츠 만들.
Yeah. So. Okay, so if I were to explain the BREW framework simply, the BREW framework is an acronym, right? It's a B.R.E.W. So B is business potential, basically like how much you can feature your own product or service. R is reach, how many people can you reach? E is effort, so how much work will it take to produce something? And W is who, which is who is going to do the work, right, basically. So who invented this framework is our boss, Tim Solo, the Chief Marketing Officer. Basically, I think basically what happened is that before we had this framework, a lot of times the prioritization was done quite haphazardly. So like somebody might think that this is more of a priority than what like the boss might think. So I wouldn't say it became necessary, but in order to solve this problem, we came up with this framework so that everyone could easily agree, or at least to a degree that we can agree that it is that way. So we kind of use it to decide on what to write about. So there are a lot of times where, like for example, I pitch a topic that I think is quite cool, but then maybe like Tim or my boss Ryan might say something like, I don't see any business potential in this topic. You shouldn't be doing it. So then it just basically aligns all of us together, right? Because like at some point, every content marketer, I believe, is creative. So if you are creative, at some point you can go a bit wayward. You might go too much to not. At the end of the day, a content marketer has to balance between like business and art. So like if you are not so much, you're not a fiction writer in so much that you can do whatever you want. You also have to figure out like what you're doing helps the company. So I think that the framework really helps to align everyone together. Like it's not set in a bad way, in an offensive way. Just like there's no business potential in what you're gonna be doing. Let's look at some other things. And yeah, that's really it. Just how we use it. Just alignment within the company.
우리도 도입해야겠다 그거 하는데. 그냥 우리 라이터들이 요새 약간 죽쓰고 있거든요.
엄청 잘 정리되어 있어요.
Yeah.
잘 정리되어 있고 그 글만 봐도 적용할 수 있는 정도.
Yeah.
진짜요?
It's alignment basically. Like it's quite easy. You can tell somebody that your idea has no business potential or it's not reaching enough people, and the person has to injong, right?
Okay, I will slightly change the name. Something like B.R.E.W. and I will announce to people that Marketpedia has now new standard of writing.
제품이나 긍정적인 면을 이야기해야 되잖아요. 그런데 이제 뭐 예를 들어 부정적이거나 그런 뭐 질문이나 비판적인 거 그런 관점이 그 제품이나 자기가 홍보 마케팅 해야 되는 것에 대해서 그런 관점이 있을 때는 어떻게 제품이 완벽합니까?
Is it perfect?
No, we are not perfect. I mean, I don't know the correct answer to this because there's no correct answer to this, right? It really depends on like what you are doing. At least for us at Ahrefs, I think the way we have been approaching this is that we have always been honest. Like, I think for example, I mean, our CMO, Tim Solo, he goes on Reddit every 2 years to ask a question to the community saying, tell us what you like or dislike about Ahrefs. And a lot of times, if it's not good, we just admit it. We say, we are working to improve in this direction, or we do not have enough resources to improve in this direction. And I think that's it. Yeah. I think a lot of times what we say is like, for example, I think we did release something recently and it was a little bit maybe not to the ideal standard of a lot of people. But I mean, I think this goes back to the slogan, right? Our Ahrefs slogan, if you need it, is like first do it, then do it right, then do it better. So everything we do, even today as we are growing, we always go to the first do it first. So we're going to release something that may not be that good, but then from there we get the feedback, right? Because people who are very vocal will tell you why it's bad. And then from there you just improve in the direction. We are not there to be like argue with people. We just want you to tell us whether it's good or bad, and that's it. Yeah. So I think we have always been quite honest. The only way we argue back in some cases is where we are misrepresented. So like I mean, it happens in every industry, right? There will be some competitor that says that you are not this, you're not that, but actually you are this and that. But it's because of to their benefit, right? Maybe they made a versus page or something, and then they are saying like, you don't have this feature, you don't have that feature, but whoever who wrote that page actually did not really do the serious work, right? Because they just wanted to win the comparison. So I think this is when like you come out and like you can be a little bit more aggressive, but most of the time I think we're just honest. And I think there is a famous case, I'm not sure if you guys know, there is a very, very famous case study back in maybe 70s or 80s in America, where there are two car rental companies. I think they are probably here as well, Hertz and Avis. And Hertz is obviously always number one, and Avis was always number two. And Avis could never go past Hertz in market share. So I think they came up with a slogan or advertisement and campaign that said that we are number 2, so we try harder. And I think that really made their company like became even more famous and like grew their company way a lot because they were honest. They just said it right out. We are number 2. Like they didn't pretend that they are bigger than Hertz or they're number 1. They said we are number 2, and we tried. So that's why we try harder. And I think that was an inspiration for a lot of companies later on.
Why great marketing is risky? 그 질문 드리는 거예요. 뭐
네네네.
약간 이렇게 이어질 수 있을 것 같아요. 좋은 마케팅은 본질적으로 위험을 감수해야 한다고 하셨어요. 그래서 얘기하셨습니다. 거기 몇 가지가 궁금한데요. 글에 나온 내용들을 좀 듣고 싶고요.
I mean, from the blog post, it's just basically me saying that. Well, I mean, I know where it's coming from. So that blog post basically like my thesis was just like marketing became very boring, and because everyone was just looking for formulas. I think that's the good and bad part about marketing. I mean, I'm going to sidetrack a little bit. There's a good and bad part about marketing. Marketing is very democratic in a sense that anyone can be a marketer. You don't need a degree, and just even if you have a degree, it's not necessary you're a better marketer. And that is good and bad for the industry because like bad for the industry because at some point everyone wants marketing to be very easy, right? They want it to be, let me click a few buttons and my job is done, as I said yesterday. Where actually like real marketing, like to some degree, involves like what he said, like you need 천재 marketer, 천재 idea, right? And a lot of people, because they did not really, because anyone can be a marketer, like just like reading some blog posts. So like not a lot of people realize that at some point marketing needs to be somewhat creative, different. They forget that the fundamental of marketing is to be different. And so they forget that the fundamentals of marketing is to be different. So all they do is to copy, and that leads to the sea of sameness in content, in positioning, in everything. And why it's risky is because like we're all humans, right? At some point, if everyone's doing one thing, if everyone's wearing jeans today and you're the only one wearing shorts, then you will always question yourself, oh, did I wear the correct thing? Did I underdress? So I think in marketing it's the same, right? If everyone's doing the same thing, have the same brand color, same brand positioning, same kind of content, and you want to do something different, then you will think, oh, what if they know something I don't? And that's why it's risky. Like, you have to be obviously different to the rest of your industry or the world, and you have to overcome that thinking because like everyone wants to be safe, right? Like if you have a boss, your boss will like, why are we doing something that? There is a famous comic that I think in the blog post I used it. Basically, it's just a 4-panel comic, and basically it's a guy talking to his boss. Like, I have an innovative idea, and the boss was like, has it been done before? And yeah, so.
SEO를 위해서 여러 가지 형식들이 있잖아요. 롱폼 콘텐츠 일루션 이런 글도 있고, 무조건 몇 자 이상 좋은 거. 그런 형식보다 이게 계속 뭔가 이야기가 계속 비슷한 답이 나올 수 있을 것 같은데 그래서 그냥 최대한 자유롭게 이야기해 주시면 될 것 같아요. 그 형식보다 중요한 거 그런 것이 무엇일까? 그런 뭐 진정성 스토리 이런 얘기 말고 뭔가 형식보다 더 중요한 거가 뭐 어떤 요소가 또 있을까? 그런 거 궁금하고.
I don't know. I think at the end of the day, really the most important thing is asking questions. Like right now, like I don't know about Korea, but let's say in the English-speaking world, everyone is trying to make thought leadership content, right? They want to control the narrative. They want to be the one that push ideas forward. But how do you get those ideas in the first place? Is that you ask questions, basically, right? You like, for example, like the one you talk about, long-form content illusion, my blog post. Basically, it's just me asking like some critical questions about like why are marketers and SEO so obsessed with long-form, right? And then you sit down and you think to yourself like, okay, actually there's no sense in whatever we're doing because at the end of the day, even if we don't talk about marketing wise, like a lot of us go through life without asking questions. We just follow the standard format of what is given to us, right? We see like what our parents were doing, what society is doing, and then we just follow because we think that if everyone is doing it, it must be correct. And I'm not saying that whatever everyone is doing is wrong, because if everyone is doing it, there must be some truth in it. But I think if you ask the questions and you come to the same understanding as the public, then it's okay. But most important is that you need to ask the question in the first place. Yeah, so, and if you want to write a good piece of article, you want to make something good, you want to have thought leadership, it's just basically, I mean, at the end of the day, like what my boss says is the simple truth. Thought leadership is applied critical thinking. So applied meaning that you use critical thinking to think about a particular problem, and then you write out like, or you experience or you write out something that you think is different or the same. So it's just about thinking. At the end of the day, I think I will repeat myself again, but every white collar job at the end of the day is just to ask good questions and think through what they are doing. Yeah, so I think that's what we are being paid for, honestly.
SEO를 높이는 콘텐츠와 독창성 있는 주제, 그게 충돌할 때 어떻게 균형을 잡으시는지.
How do you
What is
balance
독창성?
between originality and SEO friendly writing? Like
Is there any conflict?
Yeah, a lot of conflict.
all the time.
Yeah, all the time. How do we balance it? I don't even think that we balance it that well today. I think at this point we are. I think at this point, a lot of us, at least in the team, we are just very conscious of whether we are trying to rank or not. That's all. Like, we are just very clear about what we are doing. So for example, let's say I'm targeting a keyword, and maybe it's a very simple keyword with and if you look at the search intent, for example, it's very simple stuff ranking. I mean, then it goes back to the BREW framework, right? It goes back to the BREW framework again. Like, what is the business potential? What is the reach? Like, is it worth the effort to do something extraordinarily different to get this potential result? Versus like, can you just like do something quite similar to the top ranking pages, for example? And maybe just change a little bit stuff, make it slightly better, and then throw it out there. First do it, throw it out there, and see what happens. If it ranks, good job, next thing. Because like at the end of the day, we are all resource constrained, right? Every company doesn't have enough resources to do everything they want. So you have to really like constantly like decide what is worth the effort to go to have a 천재 idea, basically. Yeah. Yes. You don't need to go the extra mile for everything, basically. I think that is basically a life philosophy.
이걸 너무 SEO한테 질문이 되는 질문을 던져주셨어요. 우리가 우리만의 생각을 할 수밖에 없도록.
뭐라고 이해 없어요. 무리되는.
그러니까 무리하게 뭔가 룰을 이렇게 지켜서 할 필요는 없다고 생각한다고
맞아요.
해요. 그리고 이게 생각을 해볼 때 키워드를 기준으로 이게 비즈니스 포텐셜이 얼마나 있는가 그것까지 이제 고려를 하는 거죠. 만약에 이게 비즈니스 포텐셜이 별로 없는 거면은 그냥 제뉴인하게 글을 써도 되지 않는가 그런 입장이라고 생각해요.
Nowadays, I don't even care about the keyword because keyword doesn't match with the search all the time.
Yeah, discover.
No, it takes a month or 2 months to.
Yeah, a lot. We
rank.
don't even do a lot of keyword stuff today. We do a lot of thought leadership and data studies and stuff like that. And all of this has no like
Just
search.
consciously thinking.
맞아요. 그러니까
Yeah.
요즘은 아예 그 검색 결과랑 검색 키워드랑 매치를 안 해요. 그 안에 내용이나 전체적인 컨텍스트나
시멘틱인 것 같아요.
시멘틱 서치로 많이 노출이 되기 때문에 근데 이게 노출이 되는데 시간이 이 위평레터나 좀 시간이 걸릴 수도 있어요. 그 키워드를 직접적으로 넣지 않으면 그럼에도 불구하고 그런 것들을 이제 사고 속에 넣어놓고 글을 작성하게 되면은 결국에는 검색 엔진이 알아서 매칭을 시켜준다는 거예요.
AI가 SEO 콘텐츠 제작을 대체할 것이라는, 물론 지금 대화 중에서 계속 이런 얘기가 나오고 어쨌든 정답은 있는 것 같은데 그런 우려가 많습니다. 이거에 대해서도 이거 뭐 되게 트렌디한 주제니까 이야기해 주시면.
Well, I think the only correct answer, I think I said this in a conference yesterday, which is that I think it was always a funny thing to me because okay, if I start from the start, I was never an SEO. Like I've never worked in an agency, and I've never worked across a portfolio of client sites. So I for very, very long, and even today, I don't really think of myself as an SEO. I think of myself as a marketer. It's only because I work in Ahrefs, so everyone thinks that I'm an SEO or I'm an SEO like a genius. I'm not. I just happen to work for Ahrefs. My title is not even SEO at Ahrefs. My title is content marketer at Ahrefs. So for me, my identity was always that I'm a marketer, not an SEO. So it was always very funny to me that SEO always acted like they were not marketers. Because I'm sure in many companies, an SEO is like a roving team across departments. There is like a marketing, a lot of times there's a marketing department and there is an SEO department, which is very funny because SEO is marketing. So for us at Ahrefs, it's like we are going to continue what we have always been doing, because even though we grew via SEO and we are SEO too, I mean, we used to be an SEO too, now we are more than SEO too. All of us are marketers. We are not SEOs per se. That's why none of us at Ahrefs has a title of SEO. And we will just continue to do what it takes to grow the company, because SEO is just one of the channels. And if SEO disappears, then we just do something else. And we've always been doing something else. We've always been doing YouTube, for example. We've never stopped doing YouTube for the past 6 years. And now we have events. We have email. We have LinkedIn, everyone's individual LinkedIn. We have product marketers. We do webinars. We do podcasts. Yes, so we are basically marketers, and this is how I mean, marketing will never die, right? Marketing will become even more important, because like if everyone can vibe code software, then basically like everyone has infinite choices, and everyone infinite choices, who are they going to choose? They're going to choose the one with the best marketing, because that's the only one they know. So marketing is going to become more important. Maybe it's not SEO, but marketing will still be important. And it's just about the identity at the end of the day. You just do whatever it takes to continue surviving in the environment, I think.
When the time has come, LMA is developed enough to write human-like writings. There even no needs for making blog or something, because all people would find what they want with the LMS service with them.
I still think like we need a human writing content still. We will be able to distinguish. Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think I wouldn't say like AI won't replace SEO writers, because that's the truth, right? Like at the end of the day, like a lot of people who are in SEO writing, they are not good writers, and these are the people that AI replaces, because AI is as good as the average or slightly above average. So I mean, that's all technology, right? At the end of the day, all technology does is they replace the average person, but the best of the best always survives, right?
Like SEO genius like me.
Yeah. So I mean, we look at the closest thing that we can all understand from AI, chess and Go Paduk, maybe. Like chess still exists. Chess competitions still exist. Like, even though it's very clear today that no chess player can beat AI.
Yeah, no.
No. Like even Go, even Paduk, like I know Isidore was defeated by.
That was the last.
Yeah, like after that Isidore retired, right? So, so everyone knows, but then again, we are still going to watch Paduk games. We are still following chess games, right?
Right.
So there is a market for this kind of thing. Like, this is the closest thing we can understand,
I
because
see.
like if you want to understand like the future of AI, we can look at chess and Paduk and every other game in the world, right? Because what is SEO but a game, right? SEO is a game.
But
there is an algorithm, there are a set of rules that you're trying to play around.
then let me bring it towards this way. Like, I think marketing and the core chess are slightly different, because marketing is about alluring people and persuade people to buy or something. But the core or chess is something we feel catharsis.
Okay, yeah.
It's a lot of difference. Like when it comes to marketing, AI would do better to persuade people or allure people. Like out of recording, like AI porn is what if the vision is more 더 강하면 than something made by the human. Don't you think people would?
I think we'll go back to primitive things, right? Like a marketing is stronger than gold. Or I think so.
Yeah, I mean, I think because like SEO writer as a thing itself is a bit weird because what is an SEO writer? Like you're just writing for
You can
this.
be a writer, but like SEO writer is kind of like it's a job title.
Yeah, SEO writer is a very weird position because what is SEO? SEO is just a distribution platform at the end of the day. You get what I mean? Like SEO is just a way to distribute what you have made.
제가 SEO 라이터에 대해서 질문한 건 사실 아니었고, 그래서 뭐 이렇게 그러니까 뭐 전반적인 거에 대해서
SEO 라이팅 자체라고 해도 그럴 것 같아요.
뭔가 정답이 있는 질문은 아닌 것 같고 말씀하신 대로 이렇게 알파고가 이겨도 바둑이 존재하고
Yeah.
잘 쓰는 AI가 있어도 사람이 쓰는 글에 가치가 있고 계속 그 사람이 쓰는 콘텐츠를 만드는 사람이 필요하다라고 이해했고 또 거기에 이야기들을 또 하신 얘기
저는 그러니까 고랑 바둑이랑 마케팅이랑 다른 게 마케팅은 사람을 시각적으로 꼬시고 설득하는 과정이니까 그 과정은 비주얼적으로 더 강력한 걸 만드는 마케팅이 더 잘할 수도 있지 않겠느냐 라는 질문을 던졌고
제 반론은 뭐냐면
여기서 이제 반론
제 말로는 마케팅은 상당히 원초적인 욕구를 작시키는 거잖아요. 근데 이제 매슬로우의 욕구를 보면 아시겠지만 우리가 원초적인 욕구가 먼저 달성돼야 사회적인 욕구나 다른 욕구가 올라갈 수 있어요. 근데 고 같은 경우나 체스 같은 경우에는 이 원초적인 욕구가 충족되지 않고는 못 올라가는 거죠. 그래서 그만큼 즐기는 사람이 조금 적어질 거예요. 그래서 마케팅이야말로 저는 원초적이고 계속될 거라고 생각해요.
그러니까
Like I just like mentioned that like marketing is more primitive than Go or chess.
Yeah, I mean, marketing is just promotion, right? At the end of the day.
Do you like the song Video Kill the Radio Stars
What
the
song
by
is
the Queens? Video kill the radio star and AI kill all the marketers.
Most of them, I can say.
그러면 지금 요새는 어떤 일을 할 때 가장 몰입하시나요?
I don't want to say immerse, but I think right now what I am most interested in is two things. I think like how to do a lot of data studies, for example, because I mean yesterday in my talk I presented a lot of data, so but most of it is not done by me, it's done by my colleagues, so I want to be part of that thing as well. And I think the future of marketing right now is probably to publish a lot of original research that no one is doing. And if you want to rank in AI search, I think as of now AI does really like statistics and data and numbers. So I think that's number one. Figuring out how to, I mean, I'm not running the actual data analysis, so we have data scientists for that. So I think the most important thing is asking good questions, like asking the questions that people want to know and asking the questions that I want to know as a person in the same industry. Yeah, and the second thing is basically how to make content that AI cannot make. And I think that the most important thing is probably having a point of view, having the experience and basically doing the thing to, I mean, like I think if you follow like a lot of, I mean, I'm not sure if you guys are exposed to the same writers, but some of the writers that I read, for example, they will say like, you are not a writer, you do things, then you write about it. So like, I think at this point, like if you want to be a good content marketer, you have to be in that position. You are doing things, then you write about a thing. You don't like philosophize by writing about a thing and pretending that you know about a thing. So I think that is the future of content marketing. That is the thing that I'm looking to be better at, doing things, telling a better story. Because for the longest time, a lot of content marketers and SEOs, they didn't have to know how to tell a story, right? They just had to like go to a content optimization to find the right H2s, H3s, and then they just write a bunch of things. And today they use ChatGPT to fill those gaps. But I think the future is how to tell a story, how to make people remember your brand, your content. And that is the only way is that, because at the end of the day, all of us, we love stories, right? You go to YouTube, you watch something, it's because of a story. You read a book, it's because it's a story. I mean, the reason why so many religions has lasted so long is because they are telling stories. So I think the future is also story. So, and data is also story. You have the data, you need to tell the good story. So I think these are the things that I'm most interested in today.
후배와 동료 마케터에게 콘텐츠 마케터를 직업적으로 꿈꾸는 사람들, 그러니까 콘텐츠 마케터를 꿈꾸는 사람에게 꼭 추천하고 싶은 루틴이나 관점 해주시고 싶은 이야기가 있으십니까?
하지마. Today, don't do it.
Why?
Give advice? Oh my god. I have to give, my advice for my juniors, right? Basically.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That's the hardest.
Like even thinking about your colleagues.
I don't really have a hubei though. Okay, I think I think I can say this because based on what he's saying, like I think if we go back to like all the way where he said that AI is going to replace writers and everything. So for example, let's say I have a junior who just graduated and he's very used to AI, right? Because he probably used AI to graduate. And then he would think that, he might think like him. He might think something like, like there's no point in me writing anymore because like AI can do everything for me. Then I would like to refer my junior to this guy called Paul Graham. So Paul Graham is the founder of Y Combinator. Is Y Combinator, okay, Y Combinator, one of the most famous startup incubator. So he's the founder, right? So I think he recently wrote an article that said like a lot of people think like this today, right? That he predicts that there'll be less writers in the future because of whatever you said, like AI will do all the work for us. But then he thinks that it will be a shame for that to happen. And the reason is because a lot of people think that writing is words on the paper. But it's not. Writing is thinking. Every time you write, you are thinking. I'm not sure if you have any... I think that's where my problem with the marketing industry is also, is that a lot of people see writing as a means to an end. Like they are only writing because it's a job. They are only writing because they are paid to do so. They think it's the future or whatever it is. But I think at some point, if you fall in love with the process of writing, you realize that writing is really thinking. Because I really agree with Paul Graham, because every time I am troubled or I'm trying to sort out my thoughts, the only way to come out with something clear is to have written it. And it doesn't mean that I have to publish it. It just means that I have to have written it down. Because you can't think in your head. You can only think when it's on the paper and you can see what you're thinking. So I think that's where the power of writing is. And AI cannot replace that power of writing unless you want to be completely the same person as an AI. Like you want to be integrated into AI and think on the average way, then sure, then AI will do everything for you. But if you think of writing as thinking, then it will never go away. Yeah.
So basically you want to say you should write?
Yeah, I think everyone should write. Like at the end of the day, everyone should write, and it doesn't matter whether you're publishing it. You should just write because, like, and you should love writing because that's how you think through everything in your life.
You should love that. That might be more appropriate.
Yeah. I will tell my junior you should love writing.
Yeah.
이제 끝났는데 마지막 질문 드리겠습니다. 이거 지금까지의 이제 개인적으로 인생이나 또는 이 직업적인 여정을 돌아봤을 때 당신을 만든 핵심 가치는 무엇인가요?
Well, I think if I were to really point out like a thing that I aspire to and would drive my life, and I hope to drive my life, is falling in love with the process. I think the highest, like to me, it doesn't matter if it's b-boying or something else. I think the highest level of any skill or art form is where you are happy just practicing. Like, I think that is the hardest point to be at. Like just going to practice alone is you're happy. So the process makes you happy. Yeah, I think that's the highest point of everything. Like, I can go to b-boying and there will be a lot of b-boys, they are doing it because they want to win a competition, or they want to be cooler to girls or something like that, right? Or like you go to marketing, you want to achieve XYZ conversions or blah blah blah. And it is because of that you never really enjoy the process, because like every time you fail towards your goal, you hate it. You are disappointed. So I truly do believe that the sake of practicing, the sake of enjoying the process for the process is the highest achievement of anything in this world. Yeah, because nothing, you are not doing it because like you want to achieve something, you're doing it because you truly love the act of doing it. Yeah. 야, 죄송해요. 아니요. I'm very comfortable. Yes. 이따가.
그거 괜찮다. 컨셉으로.
약간 그런 거.
그 이제 한국 사람들 유튜브 댓글로 싱가포르인들은 원래 저래요?